everybody. Let me take attendance. I'm taking attendance, so you have to make sure you tell me that you're here. Grade 5 class. We have Sophia, Sunjay, and Hiri. Is anybody else here? I just got the 3 of you today. Erase this. Just the 3 of you. Anyone else here? Hello. Hello. Hello, hello. I got a 4th person here. Who is our 4th person in this class? Make sure you say hello. If you are listening, please say hello so I know you're here. I'm taking attendance. I have to write down who is in my class. So please say hi if you are here. We have 5 people now watching the stream, but only 3 people said hello. Please say hello. Please tell me who is here so we can start. Okay? So, let's see. Today is Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. 6 people now. Happy Friday, everybody. Tell me. Please tell me in a complete sentence something you did this week. Jinhong is here. Hello, Jinhong. Who else is here? Sophia and Sunjay and Hiri and Jinhong. And who else? We're still waiting. Hello, it's Jinhong. Answer the question when you can. Tell me about something you did this week. Crystal's here. Hello, Crystal. Hello, hello. What is hi? Question mark? Hi? Are you confused about hi? Is it hi or not hi? Hi? Why a question mark? So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people here. Who else? 7 people. So 2 more people have not said hello yet. Who are the other 2 people who have not said anything yet? Please say hello, everybody. Also, please answer my question. Please tell me in complete sentences about something you did this week. Sophia, you watched a movie this week. Okay, let's do correction. Correction. I watched a movie this week. Ba, ba, ba. Did you watch? And did you like it? Which movie did you watch? And did you like it? Did you like the movie? And Hiri, you did play and draw and study. That's good. That's a great week. Playing, drawing, studying. That is perfect. I wish I could do that. I want to do that my week. That sounds perfect. I want to do that all week. Jinhong did e-learning all day. Excellent. What a perfect day also. I'm glad. That sounds super. I want to do e-learning all day too. Happy for you. Alright, remember, if you are joining our class, make sure you say hello. Make sure you say your name so I know that you are watching. Okay, Sunjay, I read a book called Warriors and watched a movie. I don't know a book called Warriors. The book called Warriors. What is the book Warriors about? And watched a movie. What movie did you watch? Sophia, which movie did you watch? Jinhong, you play video game. See, you said you're e-learning all day, then you play video games. What? Is that e-learning? An e-learning video game? Which video game do you play, Jinhong? What's good? Do you play League of Legends? Clash Royale? What do you play? What do the kids play these days? Kitty played and drew and studied. Really, a perfect day. A perfect day. Very jealous. Happy for you. Everybody tell me more. Alright, we have 3 people who did not say hello yet. I'm waiting for 3 more people. You have to say hello, tell me who's there, so I know that you're here. I have to take attendance, right? I have to write down here who is in my class. So you need to say hello. You need to say what your name is. Jinhong plays Roblox. Oh, my brother plays that too. Or he used to. I don't think he does anymore. He used to play the game. He really liked it. I never played it. Haunted Mansion. Oh, Haunted Mansion. Mansion? Haunted Mansion? Haunted Mansion. I think Mansion. Like the house, like a big house. Haunted Mansion. Roblox. Alright. So, who are the other people? We have 3 people who didn't say anything yet. Okay, you need to say hello. If you're joining our class, say hello. Alright, we're going to get started. I hope your week's going well. We're going to get started into our RT book. Everybody, please open up your RT book. Open up your RT book to page 21. Everyone, please open up your RT book to page 21. The Night at the Museum 2. I saw the first one. I saw Night at the Museum 1. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't see number 2. Alright, everybody, RT page 21. We're going to get started on the lesson. Everybody, RT page 21. When you are ready, please say ready. Which color pen should I use today? RT21. Sunjae is ready. Alright, my first answer is from Haiti. Haiti says mint. I'm gonna use mint. Mint is a nice color. Alright. Mint, blue. You guys all really like blue, don't you? Haiti's the only one who told me something other than blue. Right? Haiti's the only one who told me a different color. Everyone else said blue. Blue. Alright. So, on this page, this is about vocabulary. Vocabulary passage. Okay. We want to understand these vocabulary words. And we're going to read it, understand the vocabulary words, and also try to get used to using the context to help understand words, okay? Using context clues to learn words, right? That looks like a V. Okay, to learn words, right? Context clues are the words around it, okay? For example, if I say, let me give you an example here. I'll write an example. Jinhong. This is the same example I used last time. Jinhong shivered when he stepped into the frigid lake. Okay. Jinhong shivered when he stepped into the frigid lake, right? What does this mean? What does frigid mean? Okay. Right. Using context clues, what do you think frigid means? Context clues, is the clues around it, right? So we know that Jinhong steps into a lake and he goes, right? That's what this means. So, Jinhong shivered when he stepped into the frigid lake. What do you think frigid means? Jinhong says, question mark. Crystal says, cold. Sophia Lee says, very cold. Sunjae says, cold. Anyone else? So far you've got good guesses, right? Yes, it means cold, and we can tell from the context clues, right? We can understand the situation, so we can figure out what do the words mean, right? We're going to work on that today. Reading this and then understanding the meaning of the words. Alright, so let's read it together. I'm going to read it out loud. I want you to read it out loud while I am reading it out loud. We should read it out loud together, okay? So you read it out loud too while I am reading out loud. Ready? Jackie sighed dramatically and fainted to the floor. Then she asked, was that good? Do you think I'll get to perform in the school talent show? Sorry, I'm not skilled at prognostication, Corey said. Auditions are tomorrow, and I've been practicing feverishly for weeks, Jackie said. I have to be selected. You are a spectacular actress, Corey said. I'm sure the stage manager will agree. Not if my audition is a flop, Jackie said. Cross your fingers that I don't get stricken with a sore throat tomorrow. The auditions were held in the cafeteria. A group of genial students stood around at the entrance, laughing and chatting. One girl had brought her dog. Dogs aren't allowed, the stage manager said. But he's part of my act, the girl said, crossing her arms in protest. Fine, said the stage manager. Just restrain your dog when you're backstage. The stage manager called Jackie's name. She was nervous, but she delivered her lines perfectly and then fainted convincingly. Corey was waiting for her outside the cafeteria. How did it go? I get to be in the show, Jackie said with a grin. Now I just have to overcome my stage fright. Okay, so now we have read the whole thing. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 words that we have to understand, okay? Let's look at this. Let's try to understand from the context. At the beginning, Jackie sighed dramatically and fainted to the floor. Then she asked, was that good? Do you think I'll get to perform in the school talent show? Tell me. Yes.
Do you show the picture this one, right? So Isabella is here?
Isabella? No, Isabella's not in there. Well, she hasn't said anything in the chat.
Oh, she said she couldn't find
The chat?
Yeah, chat here. But everybody's answering here, right?
Yeah, everybody else is answering. So let's try to understand, what do you think dramatically means? 8 people here. Huh. Isabella can't see our class for some reason. Alright. Dramatically. What do we think dramatically means? Haiti says, Sophia says, in a very impressive manner. Did you look at the meaning? Did you look that up? These are the RT words. In a big motion. Sinja says, in a big motion. Jinong says, with a lot of drama. LOL. Jinong, you know what? You're right, but that's not very useful. It uses the same root of the word. Crystal says impressive. Alright. Right. So we know this word, right? Dramatically, like drama, like extreme. Okay. We have dramatically sigh. A small sigh is just a medium sigh is a dramatic sigh is that is a dramatic sigh, right? To do like that. So, right? So we are right. Impressive manner, big motion, a lot of drama, impressive. So everybody was correct, except is not correct. Okay. So we know that here. We know that here. We have your RT words. I forgot you can just look at the page before. That's kind of cheating though. Okay. So maybe instead of doing just the vocabulary, we'll also understand. Okay, so dramatically, yes, big motion. Let's work through these together. I'll explain. Here, do you think I'll get to perform in the school talent show? Sorry, I'm not skilled at prognostication, right? Right? Prognostic is meaning, pro is ahead, so prognostication is knowing ahead of time. It's about knowing the future, right? Prognostication is knowing the future. Okay. Auditions are tomorrow, and I've been practicing feverishly for weeks. Like practicing really hard, practicing feverishly. I have to be selected. You are a spectacular actress, Corey said. Right? So I'm sure the stage manager will agree. We know he's saying something good about her. Spectacular is very good to watch. It's like amazing. Not if my audition is a flop. It's like a big mistake. Cross your fingers I don't get stricken, right? Affected by a sore throat tomorrow. The auditions were held in the cafeteria. A group of genial students stood around the entrance, laughing and chatting. Let's guess this one. What do you think genial means? Let's do that one. Alright, kind person or friendliness, yes. Genial means kind or friendly. In Spanish, it's actually the same word. Genial means like friendly and nice. So it must be Latin. Right? It means kind and friendly. Good. Crossing her arms in protest, the girl says. But he's part of the act, crossing her arms in protest. Protest is like disagreeing, saying something is wrong. Fine, said the stage manager. Just restrain your dog when you're backstage. Restrain. Right. Restrain means to hold back. Hold your dog back when you're backstage. She was nervous. She delivered her line perfectly and then fainted convincingly. Corey was waiting for her outside the cafeteria. How did it go? I get to be in the show, Jackie said with a grin. Now I have to overcome my stage fright. Overcome means do better than, defeat my stage fright. Right? That's the important here. Good. It's kind in French also. Spanish also. Good. Okay. So, easy for you to find these because they're your RT words. Let's try one that's a little bit more difficult. Let's do this. Convincingly. What does convincingly mean? What do you think convincingly means? Any guesses? What do you think convincingly means? Alright, we have one answer. Let's see. Let's see what people say. Let's collect some answers. Let's collect some answers. Oh, Isabella. Isabella, what is this? What are you saying? What is this? Isabella says, honestly. Be convincing. Genome. This is the same thing up here. Dramatically. With a lot of drama. Yeah. Convincingly. Convincing. Yes. Right? We see the root of the word convincing. Alright, persuadingly. We would say more like persuasively. Persuasively, Sunjae. Hiri says, oh. Isabel says, cancel the message. Isabel says, honestly. Sophia says, making people agree. Right. Kind of like making people agree. Like, convince somebody means to make them agree with you. And kind of like persuading, right? So, in that way, right, if she fainted convincingly, she fell down convincingly. We're thinking about acting. When you're acting, you want to seem like you're real. You don't want it to look fake, right? You don't want it to look fake so people know it's fake. You want to faint in a way that looks real. So in acting, Here it means it looks real. It tricks people, right? In the same way, like persuasively or honestly, right? You're making people believe that you actually fainted. It looks real. Sometimes you watch movies. Sometimes in movies, like when the character dies, like it looks so fake, right? They're like, I don't know, then they like fall down, and it looks really fake. Sometimes they can do it convincingly. That's what makes a good actor. People who are good at acting can faint convincingly. It seems real, and like real is really happening. Okay, so we are going to continue. This was just a vocabulary passage. Now we're going to get into the questions passage. All right. So let's read this one together. I'll read it out loud. I'll read it out loud, and I want you to read along with me. Don't just listen to me read. Let's read together. Okay, so read out loud wherever you are. It's good for learning. Okay. Eric had always wanted to visit an island in the Caribbean Sea. The warm, clear waters and beautiful sandy beaches always seemed so inviting in the travel brochures. Now that he was finally in Puerto Rico, however, he refused to leave his hotel room. The Caribbean looked nothing like his landlocked Midwestern town, and Eric suddenly felt unsure of himself in such an unfamiliar place. He'd also forgotten to bring sunscreen, and he was afraid of getting a painful sunburn. I won't go out, Eric said to his sister, Melinda. I'll fry out there. Stop being silly, said Melinda. We can buy sunscreen at the shop around the corner. I don't know, replied Eric. Do you think it will work as well as the kind we buy at home? Tourism is a major industry in Puerto Rico, said Melinda. I'm sure the stores stock products that suit tourists' needs. Eric had to admit that Melinda had a point. Sunscreen is probably an important product for these stores. Eric finally agreed to go to the beach and had a great time. He decided that visiting new places could be a lot of fun. Alright, so we read this now. We understand the story a little bit. Now we have to understand these questions. We have all different kinds of questions about it. Now, when we do these questions, don't want you to send it right away. I want you to write down your answer, but don't send it right away. I want you to think, and then when I say go, and then you send it. Otherwise, other people see your answers, and then they'll just copy your answers. I don't want them. Okay? So our first question is on vocabulary. Just like before, using our context clues, understanding around it, we want to know, what does landlocked mean? What does landlocked mean? Okay, so find landlocked here, try to see what does it mean, and then when I count to 10, then you send it. Okay, send it when I get to 10. Right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, send your answers. Send your answers. What does landlocked mean? Send it to me. Alright, do I have all the answers? No, I'm missing some answers. Jinhong, you gotta answer too. Jinhong didn't answer. Why didn't you answer, Jinhong? Did everybody else answer? Crystal, you didn't answer either. Crystal and Jinhong, you need to answer. Crystal, Jinhong, answer the question. I have everyone else's, I think. Yes. Crystal and Jinhong, please answer the question. Crystal and Jinhong, please answer the question. Crystal and Jinhong, please answer the question. What is your answer? What is your answer? Gonna wait a couple more seconds, then we'll talk about it. Alright, time is up. So let's look at our answers. Here we have, Sophia says, surrounded entirely. Haley says, land is not people is leaving. We have here, not an island. Isabel says, land that is surrounded with water. Opposite of that. Land that is not surrounded with water. Jinhong says, IDK. Alright, let's talk about it. Landlocked. His landlocked Midwestern town, right? The Midwest, we talk about right? Here we are. Hello, 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 hello. Okay. So, we're kind of right. Isabella's kind of right. When we say landlocked, it means a place surrounded by land. For example, this place. Right? This place is surrounded by land. There's no ocean around it. This place is surrounded by land. There's no ocean around it. Florida is not landlocked. There's ocean around it. Here we have even this one. Oh no, I can say here. If it's touching water, here, this one, Alabama is not landlocked because here it's touching water. Landlocked means it's not touching water. Okay? Landlocked means okay. But it's not water surrounded by land. It's land surrounded by land. Land that is not touching water. Right? Land that is not touching water. Everyone give me an example of a landlocked country. Everyone give me an example of a landlocked country. Give me an example of a landlocked country. Can I switch the... Give me an example of a landlocked country. Everyone give me an example of a landlocked country. Huh. Give me an example of a landlocked country. I don't know why I can't switch the language on my thing. I'm looking for an example of a country that is not touching any water. Country that is not touching water. Who can give me an example? A country that is not touching any water. Who can tell me? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? I have a couple examples, but some people are still not correct. Couple examples. Want some more? Alright, let's do some examples. Alright, what is IDK? What Jinhong said. IDK means I don't know. Crystal says Switzerland. Yes, Switzerland is a landlocked country. That is true. Good. Isabella says Illinois. Illinois is not landlocked. Illinois, Chicago is in Illinois, and Chicago is on the lake. It's not the ocean, but if you look here, here's Illinois. It's touching the lake here. So this is such a big water, so we don't call it landlocked. Mongolia is landlocked. Yes, Mongolia, I'll go this way. Mongolia is not touching any ocean or big bodies of water. Okay. Bolivia is landlocked. Yes, Bolivia is not touching any water here. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Alright, other people, other examples of landlocked countries? Anyone? And we have Paraguay. Right, a lot of ones here. Countries that are not touching any water. Nebraska is landlocked, but it's not a country. Nebraska is part of the US, so it's not landlocked. But yes, this is Nebraska. Okay. Alright, let's go on to our next question. Story elements. This is a very important question. Story elements. What problem does Eric have to solve? Right? This is understanding the conflict of the story. What problem does Eric have to solve? I'm not going to use red. When I use red and yellow next to each other, it just makes me think about ketchup and mustard. So I don't want to use red next to yellow. Alright, what problem does Eric have to solve? Okay, When I count to 10, then everybody send your answer, okay? Think of the answer, find the answer here, use your own words to describe it. Don't copy a sentence from here. I want you to use your own words and tell me what problem does Eric have to solve, okay? When I get to 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why did I just write 7 again? Tricked you. 10. Send your answers. Send your answers. Send your answers. Alright, we have some answers coming in. We have here, he need to, visit beach. Sophia says, he needs to buy sunscreen at the store. Isabella says, he needs to protect his skin from sunburn. Jino says, he was nervous about his new place. And Suja says, he was afraid of sunburn. Alright, let's look at this story. Let's look at this story. Okay. Let's see, what is the problem? What is the problem here? Eric wanted to go to the Caribbean Sea. It looks beautiful. But now he refused to leave his hotel room. Okay? Unsure of himself, forgotten to bring sunscreen. Right? So he won't go outside. Right? This is the problem. This is the major problem here. He refused to leave his hotel room. And then we have our reasons why. Felt unsure of himself and forgotten to bring sunscreen. Right? These are supporting reasons. Right, so the big reason number 1 is he refused to leave his hotel room, and then we have our supporting reasons. He refused to leave his hotel room because he felt unsure of himself and forgotten to bring sunscreen. Okay? But this is the big problem. Number 1, he had refused to leave his hotel room. Okay? He's at the beach, but he doesn't want to go outside. Alright. On to the next one. Characters. What color should I use? Another blue? Characters. Oh. Why is Eric acting the way he is? What does this tell me about him? Okay? This is 2 questions in 1. So make sure you answer both questions here. Why is Eric acting the way he is? What does this tell me about him? This is an important skill of understanding a character through their actions. It's a very important skill. So we want to understand. So Eric Eric's having some trouble. He's not leaving his hotel room. Right? For me, that sounds easy. He can just go buy some sunscreen, but he still doesn't go out. Why? Why does he not just go out? What do we learn about him because of that? Right? We want to understand that. So let's answer this question. When I get to 10, all right, I'm going to count up. 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, and 10. Alright, send your answers. Send your answers. Why is Eric acting like this? What does that tell us about him? What do we know about Eric? Oh, I want some answers. Let's see some answers. I want to see everyone's answers. We got a couple answers. Got a couple answers. Got a few answers. Let's get a couple more answers. Got some nice answers. I want to see a couple more. Alright, I'm waiting for a couple answers, but we got some nice ones. Sunjay says, he is afraid about sunburn. We should say he is afraid of sunburn. And this tells me he is careful about everything. That's pretty good, right? He's afraid of sunburn, which shows us he's careful about little things like that. Okay, he's a careful person. Sophia says because he hates sunburn, and this tells me he cares a lot about his skin. Yes, that might be too. Maybe he cares a lot about his skin. But we don't really see that is. Hiri, you didn't even answer the question and you're asking me about break. It's break time after you answer this question. When you answer this question, then it's break time. Okay. He hates sunburn. This tells me he cares a lot about his skin. Okay, that's fair. Okay, don't start a sentence with because. Don't start a sentence with because. Say he hates sunburn. Or he seems to hate sunburn. He hates one person. This tells me he cares a lot about his skin. So that's good. Okay. He was afraid of sunburn, and that tells that one thing. So that tells me that he wants to be overprotective with himself. Ooh, that's pretty good. You don't have to say wants to be either. You can say that tells me he is overprotective of himself. Okay. He is you die, I live. I have no idea what that means. I don't understand that. You die, I live. I don't know what that means. Hiri says, what time is our break time? Jinong says, okay. I don't know. Okay. We'll talk about it after break, okay? Break time, 10 minutes, break time until 6:53. Okay, have a good break. Take your 10 minutes. See you again after that. Alright?
LA2 becomes G5. I cannot make sure that whether I finished the copying of the G5 here. Just give me 5 minutes, okay? Oh, where is the LA2 book? Oh.
한번 확장 이동하세요.
확장 이전을 하려고 생각을 했다가
확장 이동.
Alright, everybody back? Hello, hello, hello. Is everybody back? Sophia Lee is back. Hello, Sophia Lee. I'm glad that you are back. Isabella says, yes. With 2 periods. Makes me feel like, can I trust you? I'm not sure. It's like, yes. It's like, really? Why 2 periods? I don't know what that means. Like, yes. Sounds like sarcastic. Like, obviously, yes. Who else? Everybody else back. Where are you? Sanjay. And Crystal is back. Yes. Hello, Crystal. Crystal, you haven't been answering my questions very much. Answer more questions. Okay. And you didn't answer the last question. Alright. Where's Jinhong? Jinhong, are you finished watching Gumball? Sanjay, where are you? Who else? Kitty, are you back? Say hello so we can continue. We're talking about this question about characters, understanding character traits. It's an important part of reading, a very important part of reading actually, especially when you read stories, things like that. You have to look at what characters do and then understand what does that mean for the character, right? So we were talking about here, why is Eric acting the way he is? Why is he not leaving the house? Why is he not going to the beach? Right? Why is he doing that? Because he doesn't want to buy sunscreen. Why doesn't he want to buy sunscreen? I think is, do you think it will work as well as the kind we buy at home, right? He doesn't really trust the sunscreen there. He thinks maybe it's not good sunscreen, right? So what does this tell us about him? What do we know about Eric because of this? Well, you guys give me pretty good reasons, right? He's afraid of sunburn. He doesn't trust the sunscreen. So it tells us that he's careful about everything, right? He hates sunburn. He cares a lot about his skin, right? So that is true. That's true. That must be something that we see. He also says here there's painful sunburn. Where is that? Painful. So maybe he doesn't care about his skin, but he doesn't want to feel pain. He was afraid of sunburn. That tells me he wants to be overprotective with himself. So maybe it tells us he's overprotective with himself. Sure. Now we have our last part here. Alright. We have our last part here. Welcome back, Hiri. Jinhong is here. Who hasn't answered? Sanjay. Where are you? Okay. What lesson does Eric learn? Okay. Theme. What lesson does Eric learn? Sanjay switched accounts. What lesson does Eric learn? What does he learn here? This is the theme of this story. What does Eric learn here? Let's answer that. I'll count to 10. When I get to 10, then send your answer, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What lesson does Eric learn? 6, 7, 8, 9. What lesson does Eric learn? Let me know. 10. Send your answer. Okay. What lesson does Eric learn? Tell me. Alright, answers coming in. Answers are coming in. Let's see some more answers. Sophia's got an answer. Crystal's got an answer. Who else? I want to see some more answers. I want to see everybody's answers. We've got 3 answers. I'm waiting for 3 more. That's only half of the answers. Where's my other half? Everybody has to answer. Who are we waiting for? Let's answer this question. What lesson does Eric learn? What does Eric learn from this experience? What happens to him? What does he learn? Alright, so we've got 6 answers in. Let's read them. So, it's not good to worry too much, right? We see that here. He's worrying. He's scared to go leave. He's scared to go. He feels unsure and afraid. Right? He feels unsure and afraid. And at the end, he solves that, right? Don't be afraid and enjoy. Great, right? He feels unsure and afraid. Don't be afraid of little things and just enjoy yourself, sure. Don't be afraid of sunburn. Is that really what it is here? Because he puts sunscreen on. He gets sunscreen. He buys sunscreen. So I don't think that's what he learns. That's not really what he learns. Don't be afraid of sunburn. Right? Your sibling can be a help sometimes. Ooh. So his sibling here, his sister is Melinda. That's true. His sister's Melinda. And his sister does help him. I don't know if that's really the lesson that he learns though, right? Maybe that could be part of it, but it doesn't matter if it's his sibling or if it's his mom or if a friend. That's not an important part of the story that Melinda is his sister. It could be anyone. He can learn the same lesson in the end, right? So here he learns that if you can do something, don't like it without trying. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Don't like it without trying? I'm not sure I understand. What does this mean? Don't like it without trying. Please try to explain again. Use some different words so I understand. Don't be afraid anymore, right? So it is about going over his fear. He's unsure and afraid, right? So we see here, yes, right? Finally agreed to the beach and had a good time. So we had some good answers here, right? He was afraid, so he didn't leave. He was afraid to do the new thing. He was afraid to be in a new place. He was unsure. He was too careful. So yes. So I think Sophia and Crystal had some really good answers here. It's not good to worry too much, and don't be afraid, and just enjoy things, right? Don't be too afraid. It's okay to be a little bit afraid, but you should be afraid of some things. That makes sense, right? If somebody says, here, you're 12 years old, drive my car, right? Maybe you should be afraid at that time. Being afraid can be good, but he learns his lesson, but don't be afraid of new things, or don't be afraid of little things. So I think you did a good job, Sophia and Crystal. Okay, we're going to switch now. Michelle, teacher, will be teaching you.
Okay, yes, everybody, get your LAT book. I need your LAT book here. Oh, I need to close down and, connect the USB to. Oh, yeah, Harry is Nununanna.
Yes.
Kim is Sanjay, right?
Yes. He uses 2 different accounts. He switches back and forth.
Everybody get your LAT book. He's Eric's brother.
Which Eric? Oh, that's Eric. Oreo Eric, brother?
Yes.
Ah. I see the resemblance now.
Yeah, resemblance. Their face and right.
Yeah, it's also just kind of their speaking, and they're both very confident.
Hello, Harry. Jinong said, "Oops, don't judge it without trying."
His last one didn't make sense. He said, "Don't like it without trying." I didn't understand. Don't judge it without trying.
Okay, I'll let you know the page that we need here right now. Guys, I need a LAT book page 80, please. 80. 80 here. Then 81, okay? We need 80 and 81. 80 and 81, please. LAT book, page 80 and 81. Okay. And Sunday ready too? All right. Okay, last time we learned about the different kinds of sentences. Do you remember? Especially we learned about the compound sentence and complex sentence. All right? Yes. So let's see two type of sentences here again. Compound sentence. Okay? And complex sentence. Okay? Compound and complex sentence. Do you understand? Okay, write two, type of sentence name here, compound and complex. Okay, what kind of sentence is a compound sentence? Compound sentence has same kinds of clauses, right? Kind of like we have two kinds of clauses, independent clause and dependent clause, right? Compound sentence has same kind, like independent clause and independent clause. It's because compound sentence using the, coordinating conjunction like comma and comma or comma but okay, comma for and comma so. Do you understand? So we have independent clause, comma, and independent clause, okay? Comma or comma but, comma for, comma so. If we have a conjunction like coordinating conjunction and or but for so, they making the clause at the same, right? Same kind, independent clause, okay? Do you understand? And or but for so, making the clause same kind, independent clause. Do you understand? But complex sentence has different kinds of clauses. That mean if first clause is independent, then second should be dependent, okay? If first clause is dependent, second should be independent, okay? If we use the, a dependent clause at first, we use comma here, get it? Then also we can break independent clause right? Like this, dependent clause, right, can break independent clause to, get it in. Kind of like that, yes. So this is the compound and this is the complex. Do you understand? So now take a look. We are going to read, all right, one part of the, story from Ultimate Field Trip 3, Wading into Marine Biology, by Susan Goodman. We are going to read this short, right, writing to find a compound sentence and complex sentence here. Are you ready, everybody? Now let's read together, then find and write the type of sentences here in the chart for compound sentence, and then write complex sentence in the second chart. Are you ready? Okay, ready and go. All beaches have tides, but the ones at Cobscook Bay are special. Cobscook Bay is part of the Bay of Fundy, which has the highest tides in the world. Most other bays have shallow, sloping side, but this bay is deep-sided like a bathtub. When water rushes from the wide ocean into the narrow, steep place, there is nowhere to go but up, okay? So read carefully the sentences, then find and write the compound sentence here and complex sentence here, okay? Are you ready? Then ready and start. And start. You cannot see under thing, Harry? Here we go. Then can you see well, Harry? Fill in the chart. Fill in the chart. Find the compound sentence and the complex sentence and write it in here, okay? Write it in. Okay, write them down. Okay, are you writing down? Okay, now look back. All beaches have tides, but the ones at Cobscook Bay are special. Cobscook Bay is part of the Bay of Fundy, okay? Or Fundy, which has the highest tides in the world. Most other bays have shallow sloping side, but this bay is deep-sided like a bathtub. When water rushes from the wide ocean into the narrow, steep place, there is nowhere to go but just up. So, take a look. How many compound sentences do we have and how many complex sentences here? Let's see first. How many compound first? How many compound sentences here? Then how many complex sentences here? I mean, how many? How many complex sentences here? How many compound and how many complex sentence here? What do you mean? Two, Crystal? Two mean compound? Okay. Right? Two? That means two compound sentence and two complex sentence here? Okay. Two are compound and two are complex sentence. Is that what you mean? Okay, get it. All right, let's see, everybody. The first sentence, actually, we do have but here. So this is the compound sentence. Is it right? Harry, that's enough too. Okay, no more typing, please. That's a little, annoying. Then Cobscook Bay is part of the Bay of Fundy, which has the highest tides in the world. What about which? What is making which? Compound or complex? You don't need to say that where you are. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Okay, which? Right, everybody focus on which. Okay, what is which making? Compound or complex? Is there anybody answer? Which, if we have the connecting word, all right, kind of like conjunction which, is it compound or complex? So what is which? Hey, what is making which? Focus. Focus on the topic. All right, focus on the topic. So what is, which making? Compound or complex? Compound or complex? What is which making? Compound or complex? What's your answer? Yes, Harry? What's the answer? Compound or complex? Crystal and Isabella or Sophia? Who can answer? Sanjay? What is making which? Compound or complex? What is it? All right, complex. Here, conjunction which is making the complex. So you have to put this sentence here. Do you understand? Yes, right. So here, Cobscook Bay is a part of the Bay of Fundy, which has the highest tides in the world. This sentence is the complex sentence. Yes, Harry? Do you have any question? The answer is complex. That's right. What's the question, Harry? What is it? Complex and complex and complex. What is it? Sanjay. Okay, stay focused. Anyway, next sentence. The most other bays have shallow sloping side. But this is the compound, so you have to write it in here, right? Then when water rushes from the wide ocean into the narrow, steep place, if we have when, that is the complex, so you have to write it in here. That's right. Your answer is correct. We have 2 compound sentence and 2 complex sentence here, okay? So, yeah, 30 seconds? Is that much, late? I thought it is just 10 seconds up to 15 seconds. That goes really slow now. All right. Okay. I'm waiting, everybody. So everybody, if your answer is right, then write 2 compound sentence and 2 complex sentence. Okay, write 2 compound and write 2 complex. Write 2 compound and write 2 complex. You mean delayed, right? You mean delayed. Write 2 compound sentence, 2 complex sentence. Okay. If you're finished, just let me know. If you're done, right? Just let me know. If you're done, just let me know, okay? Okay, good. Okay, Sophia said done, Crystal said done, all right? Then if you're finished, move on the next page, okay? Page 81. Page 81 then. Page 81.
That's good, right?
Okay, I'm waiting, don't worry. Take a look, page 81 then. We will talk about compare and contrast composition today. Page 81. If you're done, you can read it, okay? Read about Page 81. Okay. Now, Jinong, find the page 81 here. All right. Then everybody, listen. All right. Compare and contrast composition. What does compare mean? That means find the similar things. Okay. Similar things. What does contrast mean? Find the different things. Okay. Compare mean find a similar thing. Oops. Then compare mean find a similar thing, and contrast mean find a different things. Okay. So if you are writing compare and contrast composition, there might be type 2. Okay. But before we are doing this one, right? There are 3 sentence type here. Simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence here, okay? Everybody read carefully and find a simple sentence and compound sentence, complex sentence to write it in here, understand? Okay, write it in. Okay, ready? And read. Okay, we are going to read this one and check it together. People often confuse dolphin and porpoises because they look so much alike. Both are graceful swimmers and both are mammals. Most dolphin species live in salty ocean waters. So do most porpoises. Do most porpoises, mean they do too. However, there are many differences between dolphins and porpoises. A major difference is their size. Dolphins measure between 4 and 30 feet long, but most porpoises do not grow beyond 7 feet in length. You can tell the difference between dolphin and porpoises by the shape of their body part. Both dolphins and porpoises have a torpedo-shaped body. Although dolphins have beak-like snouts, porpoises' snouts are rounded. Another difference is that a porpoise's teeth are shaped like a spade, while those of the dolphin are cone-shaped. When you look carefully, you can see important differences between creatures that seem alike. The dolphin and the porpoise are each very unique. So find the 3 sentence type. Simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence, then write it in here. Understand? Yes. Yes, we write the sentences. Yes, Gino. We write sentences in the chart. We find the text type, right? We find the type of sentences and write them in the chart. Do you understand? we find the type of sentences and write them in the chart. Yes, now. Or okay, let me see. Okay, let me see. Okay, everybody, first, just count the number of each type. Okay, first, count the number of each type. Okay, how many simple, how many compound, how many complex sentences here? Then we will talk about today's writing homework. I do have writing homework today, okay? So let's just count, write the number, right? Write the number, how many we have, the type of the sentences, right? Then talk about the writing form of the compare and contrast composition today. Okay. Okay, 2 compound and 4 simple, then 4 complex. Then 4 simple too. We do have more simple sentences here. We do have more simple sentences here. We do have more simple sentences here. What do you mean no, Gino? Oh yeah, that means the no, right? One, 2, 3, 4. Are you done? Okay, then LAT book page 81 is a homework today. LAT book page 81 is a homework. Then let's talk about compare and contrast. Yes, I am. All right, that's a homework, Gino, don't worry. Okay, let's talk about the compare and contrast writing. Okay, when we, compare and contrast about two, things or objects, all right? Usually we do have two types, okay? If two things are very similar, okay? I'll draw the, Venn diagram here. Okay, you have two objects. They are very similar, okay? They are very similar, okay? If the two things are, if two things have many similarity, okay? then actually, if there two objects are too same, then actually we focus more different things to know which is which. Do you understand? Kind of like this. Here are two animals, dolphins and porpoises here. The first paragraph, introduction said people often confuse dolphin and porpoises, right? It doesn't mean that do they have more similarity or differences. What does that mean? Do two, animals, dolphins and porpoises, have more similarity or more different things? Do two animals have more similarity Do they have more similarity or different things? Do they have more differences? Or do they have more similarity? What's the answer? More similarities or more differences? Yes, actually they do have more similarity. That's why we got confused. We don't know which is which, all right? From long distance, right? But if you look at them very carefully, right? Then, yes. Oh, not differences. They do have more similarity actually. So if you look at them, then you can find the different things, okay? Kind of like this. We have two objects that look, right, very similar. Then now we focus on more differences, right, to tell how they are different. So this kind of writing, they are very similar, okay? Then we focus on what? Different things, understand? More different things. More different things, then conclude. Do you understand? Here are two objects have many similar things, but we are going to focus on different things. Then conclude. What I think is they are kind of like this different. Do you understand? What we are talking about is we want to emphasize more different things here actually. So they have very similar thing, but here are different things. So you can say that you know which is which like this, okay? But if we talk about the same amount of different things and similarity in your writing, okay? If you don't focus on only one side, then your reader of your writing can be really confused. They cannot understand what you're really talking about. Understand? So you have to get point, right, to tell that you are going to tell more different things or more similarity. Okay? Then you have to get 1 point here, more different things or more similarity. But if you focus on more different things, you're writing topics, animals, objects do have more similarity, go opposite way. But if you choose the two animals are very different, then you can focus on the similarity. Do you understand? When we go to kind of opposite way, then we can get more interest. That's what I mean. So this is how we make great, compare good compare and contrast composition here. Remember, okay? So kind of like dolphin and porpoises, look very similar, but if you take a look, you can find the different things. Okay, here you are, different thing. So conclude is, when you look carefully, you can see important differences between creatures that seem alike. If you take a look carefully, then you know the differences. The dolphin and the porpoises are each very unique, right? So writer, conclude that they are very unique, mean same or different. The writer, right, conclude that they are different and unique. Do you understand what I mean, everybody? That's the compare and contrast composition. So my homework is, okay, I will give you one writing, right? Finish the chart, page 81, and a one research homework, okay? Homework, today's homework. Today's homework is number 1. Finish the chart. Page 81. And number 2, research, okay, about 2 similar things or animals. 2, write, compare, and contrast composition. That's number 2. 2 homework. We have 2 homework today. Do you understand, everyone? Write this homework down, then we say goodbye. Understand? Write the homework down, then we say goodbye. Bye, everyone. Stay safe, everybody. Then I'll give you a new schedule, all right, for next week by text message. Understand? Bye-bye. Did you figure it out?
I'm not sure. I don't remember what we did last time. I gave them.
And I made a copy of
each.
the reading part and vocabulary word for now. Okay, so I'll figure the copy that maybe the new ones for them.
I gave them all individualized prompts.
So let's just use the letters one. Maybe you can do this 100%.
I don't know what I did last time. I don't remember what we did.
The 6 students are actually answering, but 8 students are watching us. It's okay. Start, go over the vocabulary and the reading skill for them. Then I'll give you writing in a word. It's in here. It's in white USB, okay?
What was it? Vocabulary and reading.
Oh my gosh. I think, teachers are losing jobs now.
Yes.
Yes.
I've heard about that before.
Previous, applicant come here for the interview, they ask about the job. So, you're still looking for someone. I don't know, from there.
Ah.
Losing jobs.
Trouble.